Hey everyone, this is Genesis here with another deck profile for Wanderers. Since the new ban list came out and won't be applied until the 23rd of July, I decided to make the Seer of the Lumen, which is Kaguya 1.0. She was recently just removed off the ban list along with Reflector Frame and the alongside of Ruler's Memoria, which is very interesting. I'll go on that maybe in a later video if you guys request it enough. So her abilities are pay 0 to... You pay 0 to deactivate her if you play a treasury item this turn. You have a ton of treasury items in this deck, so that's not the major function. And then her other ability is to set stealth cards for one void instead of 2 void. You only play, in this particular deck, you play like 6 stealth cards. So that's not the major mechanic we're focusing on here, but there is a huge stealth Kaguya control list that you guys can run. I will eventually build into that. I really just wanted to play this really old deck idea I had for the longest time since Millennia of Ages was out. I saw a friend of mine run it and I thought it was a really fun deck and I really loved it back then and I actually love it right now. So the major part of this deck we focus on is actually the J-Ruler side of this deck. To be able to pay 0 to change the addition type with Longinus, and then you're able to pay 3, 2 water, 1 void to search any treasury item. Now you can search out resonators as well, but that's not the major function in this deck. But yes, you can use it. She's very strong. I really like her a lot. There's pretty much a lot of changes I would do to this deck myself, but this is how I ran it at first. So we're going to go with this build first. So we're going to move on to Resonators. We keep her here. So our main Resonator is Kaguya, the Tail of the Bamboo Cutter. So you are able to give knowledge counters to target 6 stages, but this deck doesn't have 6 stages. But if you want to build a 6 stage deck, you can. Just basically, this is the main focal point is with her and Shining Bamboo, which I'll get into later. But I'm gonna go over her abilities. You can remove 3 knowledge counters to remove target resonator from the game, which is really strong, and in itself, really strong to have such easy removal, but nonetheless, that's not the point of the deck. Next is for Elvish Priest. We just need to ramp up to get enough stones and enough mana as possible, so the most optimal hand is just have Elvish Priest into Gretel turn 2. So you'll be by turn 3, you'll be at turn 3 4 stones, so you'll be ahead of your opponent by 2 stones. Which is the major point of the deck, that you want to be ahead because you want to deactivate Kaguya as soon as possible, so you're going to be behind in stones if you don't Gretel. But if you did Gretel, you'll be even in stones. And eventually just play more Kaguya, more Gretels, so to catch up, so to speak. Next, 3 Gretels. 4 is a little bit too much, so 3 is just fine. We just need it for the extra 1 or 2 stones mainly, and that's all we need it for. So, when she enters the field, you reveal the top card of your deck, your stone deck. If it's the green stone, put it into play. In the stone list, you have only 1 target that it cannot hit, so you have a 1 out of 10 chances to miss. Next is 3 Glinda. Glinda is very strong. Target Resonator cannot be blocked until end of turn, so you want to use it with Kaguya so she can be blocked. Also the fact that you could banish her to negate target normal spell unless the controller pays 2 more, so it's very strong. I had games where they would space time her and I'll be like, alright, negate it unless you pay 2 more void. Yeah, they essentially got to remove it, but at the same time they don't get to draw a card, so they don't get the cycle unless they want to pay the 2 more to really just have the cycle effect, which was honestly probably what won me most of those games in general, was not being able to cycle off the space time anomalies. 2 Campanella. Campanella has 2 targets to search out for, which are the first moons. This deck is very treasury item focused. So you want your additions to be secured with First Moon. So when she enters the field, you search for a Moon Water card. So eventually, hopefully they print out more more Moon Water besides like Pale Moon and First Moon. I think there are Moon Resonators. They're blue. I'm not quite sure, but nonetheless. And then for every different type of moon, you can, as long as your control moon is +2/+2, so it's a 4/4 in turn 2. It's not that bad, but it did grab a card. It grabbed the moon out of your deck for you. So essentially, it was a +1. And then when a Resonator you control goes to the graveyard, you can banish her to add that, just add back a Resonator to your hand, which is really nice. So like you can banish Glinda, Campanella now triggers. You can add back to Glinda to your hand if needed. Or you add back a Gretel to your hand if you need more ramp. So nonetheless, she has a lot of utility in the deck. Next we play Mystia, Manager of the Treasury. So Mystia is not really that important, but it's nice to have a searcher for specific treasury items. You don't really care about her second effect because you're just going to play them on your own to trigger her on your turn. Plus, most of them have the most important one that you'll probably be searching out with her doesn't get the effect off, which is Shining Bamboo. It doesn't get the effect off because it has the old word enter. So you just mainly want to use it as a searcher. Most of your deck, the rest of your deck is treasury items. So on to the main bulk of the deck. For Shining Bamboo. Okay, so Shining Bamboo searches for Kaguya. Searches for Kaguya. And then you are able to tap it to restand her. So you can swing, tap, restand, tap, restand, swing. So you get the gist of it. This is a really gimmicky deck, and it's a really fun gimmicky deck to play, and I love it. It's a lot of fun. Next up we have one Miracle Medicine, just to recycle certain key cards. Horn is banned. We do have xeex. Sometimes you don't really want to xeex your entire discard back into the deck. Sometimes you just want to add back key cards like Kaguya and Shining Bamboo back into there. You can add it back itself as well, so you always have a constant target to search on with Mystia if necessary, or with Kaguya. For Longinus, you also want to recycle that back with Miracle Medicine in case. So Longinus has the ability to give your Resonator +5/+5 and cannot be targeted by darkness spells or darkness abilities. It prevents all damage dealt to you by darkness ability, to the Resonator darkness ability. So again, you want to equip it to Kaguya. So here's where the fun part comes. So Kaguya, the Princess of the Moon. Let's say you're playing against water. They tend to bounce this. You would pay 0, turn it to water. So they can't Apollo Breakspear you. They can't the new bounce card. I forgot what it was called. Disassemble, or it's a new water card, 2 mana, 2 blue, bounce target Resonator to top or the bottom of the owner's deck, so they can't do that to you either. If they try to burn it to death, you change it to red. You can do this multiple times. It's free to do it. It has no limitations whatsoever. So you're always constantly able to change this on the stack if necessary. Next up, we have 4 Rewriting Laws. Rewriting Laws is just a nice cycle card, restands your stones, and converts the mana cost into anything we need, because we need more light sometimes, and then sometimes we need more blue to search out for key cards, or just to be able to play other cards. I had a lot of times where I didn't have enough white, and then I had enough times where I didn't even have a single blue out to be able to play like Mystia or to play Kaguya's ability or whatnot. So it's a cheap cycle spell, restands your stones. And then 3 xeex. That's 4 is a little unnecessary because you can always just recycle the xeex if necessary. So counter targets, cancel target summon spell. Give all resonators you control +2/+2. Target resonator you control gains hexproof or barrier action nowadays, like its barrier. Or target either player's graveyard. Shuffle the entire graveyard into their deck. Self-explanatory. The card's insane. Still insane now. The versatility of the card is ridiculous. Oh. I'm stupid, guys. Don't worry. The first moon, it's honestly just there to protect all your other treasury items. That's pretty much it. You have 2 out, your treasury items can no longer be destroyed. They can still be removed by the light of Lumia's Judgment. 4, 5 challenges. 5 challenges is a very strong card in general. It's extremely early game cycle. You're always able to constantly add it back to your hand. It's nice discard fodder. This card has tons of versatility. And the ability just to constantly draw cards is nice. Also the fact that if you control 5 or more treasury items, you bounce all resonators your opponent controls. Which is insane. So they have a field of just untargetable creatures. Get out of here. If I have 5 treasury items, obviously it's get out of here, which you will most likely have 5 treasury items or else you're basically losing the game at this point. But other than that, it's very strong cycle, and I love it a lot. 3 Millennium Bonds, just for the ability to negate spells and draw cards. It's not conditional like Absolute Cake Zone. You can play Absolute Cake Zone in this deck if you want more counter spells, but this is less conditional, and it'll always draw you a card no matter what, unlike Absolute Cake Zone. So being able to recycle. Next I have 2 Seal of Winter Lights. You can play more. I honestly didn't see myself really using this card as much as I really wanted to because I never had the light stones available to me sometimes. Because you always have to use the light stones for Longinus and Kaguya to start setting up the game state. So nonetheless, if you want to play Apollos as well, I'd probably recommend it too. I don't have Apollos on me right now, so to just have the Awakening for the Moon is really nice. And then 2 Lunar Lakes for automatic abilities. You can play 4. This is just a nice card to have cheap early game access to with Kaguya's front side, because you could pay less for standbys. You pay 1 instead of 2 for standbys to set them. Alright, so going to the stones, you have 1 Feethsing Memoria, well, 1 Feethsing Holy Windstone. This is the only stone that doesn't count for Gretel. Even though it does produce green, it is not considered a green magic stone. It is a true stone. For those who are new to the game and don't know what true stones are, they always had a clause where you can only control 1 true stone, or else they would banish themselves. So true stones are stones that have really powerful effects. Well, some of them do. Some of them are just really mediocre nowadays, like Myla Stone, and I think it's just Myla Stone that has just really been mediocre right now. But Feethsing Stone is still good. Almeria's Stone is still good. Now, Grubalista Stone is actually better now because it does kill a lot more things back nowadays instead of back then. But that's not the point. So, produce green, tap itself and another green stone or green source to give target J/Res you control barrier. I cannot talk today apparently. So we play 5 sources of light stones. You saw that majority of it is light focused with Kaguya, with Longinus and Shining Bamboo. So of course you want to have as much light stones as possible. And then 4 blue stones. Yes, I know I am playing. Like, I do have an 11 stone deck, but nonetheless, the amount of stones doesn't matter as long as you do have the Gretels. I can obviously play more blue stone, the Kaguya stone as well. Kaguya's Sorrowful Tears, I think it was called. I don't remember. But yeah, that's not the point. The point is to show you this amazing deck profile that I honestly enjoyed playing. I wish I was able to record it last on Saturday, but stupid me forgot the camera because I was in a rush for a sneak peek. I didn't pull good. It's karma for me for getting the camera. Oh well. My teammates pulled extremely well, which was nice. We're going to be doing a case split this Saturday. I will be recording that as well to let you know. Also, the fact that I'm going to say this now, I forgot to say this at the beginning of the video, which I should have said at the beginning. I do have a Discord server up and running now, so I will leave the Discord server down below. I will leave the Discord server down below in the description, so check it out. You get to talk to the entire Tim squad. You can talk to me. There's a lot of nice people there, very fun community to talk to. I'm just trying to basically help the community grow as a whole. So I hope you guys check it out, and I'll see you guys next time.